store, maybe setting up your tent. You know you make a wake of boys as you're walking from the bar with your tight milky flanks and your hand-me-down car. But no matter what you do, there's an insatiable itch. You had it all sewn up, but I guess you missed a stitch. So now you're looking at me like I might be your latest fad, because I leer like a painter and I smile like a dad. Are you gonna follow me down? Are you gonna follow me down? You gonna follow me down? Follow me down the rabbit hole. We bite the hand that feeds us. We gonna take back what they stole. Follow me down the rabbit hole. We're drinking with our demons and screaming at our souls. Follow me down. Well, now it doesn't seem so difficult to land a boy, now does it? And well, you know that you can have your pick, because getting things was never really hard for you, now was it? It's keeping them that seems to be the trick. So you privilege me with a basket full of secret looks. Well, that's pretty good, darling, but I've also got some hooks. You gotta follow me down. 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 Follow me down the rabbit hole. We bite the hand that feeds us. We take back what they stole. Follow me down the rabbit hole. We're drinking with our demons and screaming at our souls. Follow me down. So put your feet up on the dash and let your skirt drape carelessly about, and keep gazing out the window like there's nothing that you can't live without. But you better keep my number even after you grow bored, 'cause when your music turns against you, you're gonna want someone to help you with the chords. And then you're gonna follow me down the rabbit hole. We bite the hand that feeds us, yeah, we take back what they stole. Follow me down the rabbit hole. We're drinking with our demons and screaming at our souls. Follow me down.
Oh, did I forget to mention in that introduction a little touch of rock and roll in the music too? There you go.
just
They
a
call
little.
themselves Jangling Sparrows, and here to talk with us right now is the Wizard of Asheville, North Carolina, Paul Edelman. Come on in, Paul. Hello there. How are you?
How did you know that's what they call me?
I
The Wizard
I
of
don't
Asheville.
have a clue.
That's good.
Hey, listen,
That's good. I'm
so
gonna
is
start
that
using
music.
that.
I mean,
I'll give you
let's
credit.
see, it's been almost a year since you were here last. You were here in February last year, and I think it's safe to say on this new album, Bootstraps and Other American Fables, that you've cut it a little bit harder. You've got a little edgier in the last year.
Yeah. I mean, well, this body of work is definitely. I mean, obviously, but once, like, you'll probably see, like, I'm already planning another record. It's going to be yet another thing. Basically, this is a body of work. I've had these songs around. Some of them have been around for years, but I just, I don't know where to put them. And so the unit I was with, the guys on this record, we'd play these songs live, and they were starting to really come together and form, and they just, I was able to find this body of work and put it together, and it made sense. So I was able to put it on a record. and just sonically, they all made sense together. So it made sense to put it on one album and make it a a body of work together.
And I've had the privilege of listening to the entire album, and I agree with you. It's a definitely an engrossing body of work here, and it's fun as all heck to listen to. And I've heard you referred to as an award-winning songwriter, and as an edgy songwriter, and let's see, soul-driven, eclectic. How do you feel about, if you had to put a label on yourself, what would you call yourself?
Rock and roll. I know that sounds cliche. It's rock and roll, man. But
Hey.
the influences, and I think we talked about this on the last album, the influences just come up in playing with who I'm playing with. So I don't know if you recall, the last album had some like Second Line and Zydeco influences. And in fact, the song you just played is picking up on that. So I'm kind of glad you played that one, because that beat that the drummer's doing isn't straight rock beat. He's going book, and he's kind of doing that almost like a Second Line-ish shuffle in that rock song. So there's some, thematically, I've stayed with a lot of those feels and things from that I picked up playing with the group of people I was with the last time. And so, yeah, no, and just carrying over and things like that. So that term, I was calling it Zydefolk.
I like it. I like it.
It's Americana, it's songwriter driven, but I was starting to get influenced by those different feels, those more like danceable feels and such.
Well, I think it is interesting to the point of being amazing how you do manage to tie all of these, really all of these genres, these styles of music, and these types of presentation, actually, all into one song, and importantly, make it work. John Bon Jovial, you're sitting there very pensive. What you got on your mind? I know you're just waiting to jump in.
Well, sure. Paul, you kind of beat me to the punch on one of the questions I wanted to ask you, because whenever I listen to music on this show, I always listen for influences, or what I perceive to be an influence. And I was going to ask you about the Zydeco aspect of it, because I swear while I was listening to that, I really, all of a sudden, I got hungry for some, red beans and rice.
Yeah. So, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, it really is a nice driving tune, and but it definitely has a southeastern, particularly, New Orleans kind of an influence to it, and
well, I'll tell people that it happened organically. So, like, we may have had this conversation for the last album, but I think it's worth going over, because one thing I don't like, it's it happened naturally. So it happened acoustically. So I was touring with as a duo a lot with an acoustic, and my duo partner played the squeeze box, and I just started taking all these songs that I had, and just the sonically, the squeeze box, what it does, just the washover that it has, it really afforded me, like, my ear just started hearing different rhythms inside that big wash of the squeeze box on the acoustic. And then we brought that idea, like, I was taking just playing with rhythms of songs that I already had, because that's just what the squeeze box was telling me to do, so to speak. And so we took that idea and we brought those beats into the full band and made them work, and that's what happened on the last album, 140 Nickels. And then I don't have the squeeze box with me anymore, but that idea has carried over into a lot of songwriting that I keep going, and it's carried over on a few songs on this album as well, and it'll keep going on.
Yeah, I was going to ask you where the squeeze box was. We missed that there. But what have you been planning now? You just sort of alluded to the fact that you're already working on future music coming up. You doing any touring? You're getting out and playing for people?
Oh yeah. I plan on. I mean, I'm doing the booking as we speak. The shows are starting to come in for spring and summer. I'll be doing some fall. There's a chance I might be going to Austin for Americana Fest in September. But I know that some of it might be duo tours, just because duo is easier to, it's easier to manage. It's,
Sure.
On the road. But yeah, no, we'll be touring around. The band will be absolutely touring. We're going down to the coast in February, and just doing around the region from like March on. Absolutely.
And where can they find you online so they can find out what you're up to, where you're going to be playing, and, are you going to be playing in my town or whatever?
Yeah, www.janglingsparrows.com. It's got all the show dates. It'll tell you whether it's a band show, where it is, or a duo, or me solo. Absolutely. And it's got the new record on it. You can purchase the hard copy disc, or you can just, buy them digitally, however you want to do it. And also, I probably should do. I'm starting a Patreon page. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is. I'm starting one, and so like on the website there'll be a link to it if anyone is interested in supporting the work in that way. Now, I literally have no content on it yet because I just started it, but it's actually fine because the way mine is set up is if you do want to like pledge some support, then you don't. It doesn't hit, if I don't have the content, it doesn't hit your account. So you only pay for what actually I do post. But there's a Patreon page there that I want to start getting more into with, lyrics for people. People seem to be interested in the lyrics.
Definitely.
Advanced copies or advanced, recordings of unreleased music, things like that. And for anyone listening, if you do want to support, any ideas are welcome. I'm just getting this thing off the ground. So if you have an idea of hey, I'd like to see this from you or an artist that I support, I'm totally an open book to new ideas and how I can provide that kind of access to supporters.
That is terrific. I like that, and I like the fact that you do, welcome interaction with the fans, because really that's what it's all about, and it makes it so much more powerful when you can do that. And I want to remind you that we have the page on Facebook. We have that The David Bowers Awards groups page, where you can post whatever you're doing, whatever you want to share, anything to do with your music,
yes.
Rumors, whatever you got going, post it up there. And not only will that reach our followers there, but we'll take that and spread it all around the place. So, put your deepest, darkest secrets on there. And I promise you that, we can keep a secret, but the people we tell can't. So feel free to jump on there, share whatever you want, and we'll make sure it gets spread around. Now, we've got about 1 minute left, and I want to ask you to tell us about this next track from Bootstraps and Other American Fables that we're going to play, which has the unique title of Hey, Hey, Harriet Tubman.
So this is just it's kind of an ode. I assume people know who she is, but she, in case they don't, she was a freed slave who worked for the Underground Railroad and was responsible for helping hundreds and hundreds of enslaved black people escape to the North, among other things, actually. So, song's fairly old, just in case. It's one of those songs I was talking about before. It's been around a while, but it fit into this body of work. So it's really a song to her, and it's kind of like a call to her, so to speak.
I gotcha. Well, we want to thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. Paul, we look forward to having you back again in the future, and please do keep in touch with us. Thank you so much once again, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Edelman of Jangling Sparrows, from their newest album, Bootstraps and Other American Fables. Here is Hey, Hey, Harriet Tubman.